Hello, world. If this message that I speak with you today resonates with you in any way, I really hope that you'll share it and comment and like all the things to just the longevity of its reach, making its reach longer and more vast and spread further. Today, I come to you to tell you a message that I've realized so deep within myself that I cannot stop wanting to share it. And that message is, in my life experience, at the beginning of it, I was in the Christian faith. And I believed, when people laid hands on you, you were healed. When people prayed for you, things would happen. I believed that God, Jesus, had so much power because of my love and devotion and worship. That's why things happened. And I saw it with my own eyes. I had my life saved multiple times. I had people coming to me in, just out of nowhere in public, just talking to me about how Jesus sent me to you, God sent me to you. And I always thought to myself, that makes sense because I'm a very devoted individual and I love God. I love Jesus with everything in me. That I wanted to go to discipleship school and I wanted to become a missionary in China and go risk my life to speak the gospel. Now, the thing is, I had something happen when I was younger, around about, I think, 13, 14 years old. And it was a sermon that was spoken from a pastor, a 3-week part, that pretty much summed up that if you were gay, God didn't love you. And if you were trans, you were some guard to hell of Satan. So, because I felt very masculine, I felt very unwelcome. And because I was attracted to women, I felt very unwelcome. So I left the church. And for 17 long, dreadful, treacherous years, I believed that God hated me. I believed that if I were to live a life of complete misery on the inside, where people couldn't stop me from being miserable, I could have a seat still waiting for me in heaven one day. And that's not true. Me being my authentic self, I like to call myself or refer to myself as a masked non-binary person, trans masked non-binary person. I feel like I am my past self, which was a girl, and I was also very masculine and wanted to be a boy when I was a girl. But because of my life existence as a girl, I can't let go of my femininity, my nurturing, my feeling of being afraid of men, feeling like, all these things that I learned when I was a girl, right? So non-binary is like both. That feels right to me because I don't feel right being called a woman. I mean, I have a beard, I have a deep voice, I have a very masculine presenting vessel. So yeah, that's not going to work. But I also did not feel correct with being called male or him, or, well, I mean, I go by he, him, they, them. He, him, because society, I don't like explaining. They, them, for people who know me, who love me, who accept me as I am. That's it. if somebody were to somehow call me she, her, which sometimes I get it on the phone because, sometimes they don't want to make my voice super masculine. So sometimes it happens when they can't see me, but it is what it is. Regardless, that's what feels right to me. Okay. Now, it might feel completely different to somebody else. That's their life experience. That's the beauty about life. See, but what I've learned, going back a little bit, 17 years, I believe God hated me. So I kept myself in misery in any way that I could. I ruined relationships. I had fights with friends. I lied so that I could possibly end my life. I couldn't tell you how many times I got stuck in a world twisting hurricane of suicidal ideation and self-harm, which it was all mental self-harm because I never wanted to actually hurt my body per se. But it was constant torture. I tortured myself day in and day out. I didn't let myself rest. I constantly took back my boundaries or didn't set any at all. I lived this life thinking that I deserved pain and suffering. And I can't believe that I'm the only one. So I'm stepping out with everything that I am, everything that I have, and I'm putting myself out there to reach out to those who still believe God hates you. The energy that you felt in church, the energy you felt in your relationships, the energy you felt in your family before you stopped feeling it, it wasn't because of that. It wasn't because of religion. It wasn't because you were in a happy relationship. It wasn't because of anything outside of you. Okay? It's you. I didn't realize this until I watched a documentary that's called The Secret. And a lot of people who have heard of it, sometimes they believe it, sometimes they really apply it, and other people, they're just like, oh, that's crazy wacko stuff, manifesting doesn't work. But the truth is, when I look back at my 17 years that I thought God hated me, I didn't have a good mindset, I didn't have good intentions, I didn't have a good family, I didn't have good friends, I kept everyone at a distance. I never received love. I never received support. I'd hear people tell me that they love me, but I wouldn't allow myself to receive it. And I feel like religion is a big, big wall in a lot of queer lives and a lot of just people who are deconstructed from the Christian faith. Because when you're in it, right? When you're in it, you feel powerful. You feel loved, you feel seen, you feel supported in a way that no one can give to you outside of it. That's what we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves as if this is the reason why, right? That this is the reason. And that's the biggest lie. Because it is not outside of us. It is in all of us. It is a part of all of us. And I'm getting really tired of religious people trying to say that their way is the only way and that they're the only ones they know the truth. That's not the truth. The truth is, you will live a good, abundant, beautiful life if you choose it. And that's why when I was in the Christian faith, I saw miracles happen. And when I spoke, there was energy. It wasn't because I was super connected or like fully just baptized by Jesus and God. It wasn't because of that. It was because I believed it. And I allowed myself to give off that energy and feel that energy and receive that energy. I walked this life with intention of making every day good and trying to make the best out of every day, even if it was bad. And I walked in belief that prayer exists, that prayer works, that life is something to be grateful for because it was a gift from God and that Jesus died for my sins. And so I had this filter that changed my entire outlook on life, especially people outside of the church. They had a different outlook on life. And I always thought that it was because they were lost. I thought it was because they didn't have the same relationship with Jesus. So I constantly wanted to bring people in. I constantly wanted to take care of people. And throughout my 17 years, I see the universe, energy, law of attraction, says The Secret, was the reason. I saw it in little pieces, but I never paid it any attention. Like, I saw it when I'd walk in nature. I saw it when I would have a really deep heart to heart with one of my friends. I saw it when I was listening to a song that really resonated with me. That energy is yours, is mine, is ours. Whenever we want it, whenever we want to feel it. And that is going to make religion crumble. Because you don't need to give your life to God. You don't need to say the sinner's prayer. You don't need to go off and learn these ways and these rules, and you don't need any of that. Because there's two things that will change your entire life. And it is loving yourself and loving the world you live in, which is everyone in it and everything about it. And it's up to you if you want to walk that path to find that love. It's already yours. I ignored it for 17 years. For 17 years, I ignored it. Didn't believe I was worthy of it. Ran away from it. Disregarded it. But it was mine. The whole time it was mine. And now I haven't been happier in my entire life. People are coming into my life that I hadn't talked to in years. I had a job opportunity come up where I could be in, like, I could do remote work from home, which is what I've been talking about for like months. I went to work out and I upped my weights, and it wasn't even hard. I can feel this energy when I listen to certain songs, just like when I was doing worship. I've looked into the actual science behind lifting your hands up in prayer and worship. And I've researched animals, like tons of animals just in the animal kingdom, dude, can do these miracles. If humans could do what animals and insects could do, we'd be creating miracles. We'd be, making miracles happen. And the thing is, like, the only difference between animals and humans is we think too much. We don't believe we know. We don't believe in ourselves and our capabilities. That's why there are humans out there who can speak to the dead, who are mediums, who are psychic, who can heal. There are people who make us feel good energy. There are people who can hold their breath for a really long time. There are people out in the world because they go after being more than what this world tells us. You are powerful, not because of a God, not because of Jesus, not because of some energy outside of you, because you are energy in human form. I don't know what's after this. That I can't speak on. I'll never be able to speak on it because I don't know. But what I do know is we are very powerful beings. Every single one of us. We just have to believe it. And watch what happens. Really hear me when I say this. Watch what happens when you start living a life that you put yourself first. You enjoy. That fulfills you and recharges your soul. And being surrounded by people who encourage you, who love you, who make you feel confident, who make you feel like you're special, like you're something important, because you are. And living in an environment where you can be exactly who you are and watch what happens. I don't know all the answers. All I can say is because of my life experience, I know this is real. I feel it in every single bone in my body that it is real. And all I want is to rip those chains off of any queer or different person that believes that they're less than, that you're lacking, because you're not. You're just either in a place that you don't need to be, around people you don't need to be around, doing things you're not supposed to be doing, or you hate yourself. Like you really hate yourself and you can't find the motivation to do things that serve you. You're not going to find that in anyone but you. It is not outside of you. I say this with love. I say this with endearment. And I say this with confidence. I know you are capable of so much more than you can even imagine. So go out there and live this life. Because that alone is going to change this world. Because people can tell when you change. And they will change too. Thank you so much for listening, for taking space with me. I have a lot more to say, but right now, I think that that's enough. I love you. I want this life to get so much better for you, especially if you've been in torment and torture and misery, feeling as if there's something missing or lacking from you. There's not. There never was. You just gotta go where you feel like you belong. Don't stop until you get there. I promise you life is waiting.